Okay. Here we are. Let's start with this first Climate Social Forum dialogue of the Climate Social Forum dialogue series. And today, of course, it's International Women's Day. Of course, greetings to all the fantastic women that are supporting not only Climate Social Forum, but and there are like fighting and struggling for climate, social, environmental, and every kind of justice. A special like thoughts for the women that now are suffering for the lack of peace in the world, because peace is I think the precondition for every respect of human rights, and then also gender rights. And so a special thoughts for them from the friends from Ukraine, but also from that mothers from the soldier that are like struggling for their children and their sons and that are on war, sons and daughters that are on war. I will not spend so much time on that. The topic of today is, of course, the role of women in the climate, like fighting the climate agenda. Women have like a strong role and also they are protagonists in addressing environmental issues and climate issues. And for that, we're going to start properly from one of these women that are very active in the environmental field, that is Caroline Wambui from Kenya. So Caroline, the floor to you if you want to introduce yourself, tell about your organization, and tell about also your story, your activities. Caroline, the floor to you. I think that you are muted. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Now.
Am I audible?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Caroline Wambui from Kenya. I am a journalist by profession and also the founder of CWAM Foundation. CWAM Foundation simply means Caroline Wambui Foundation. It's a foundation that empowers women and youth economically. We are passionate about green development, and that's why we are into green development, creating jobs that are environment friendly. Yeah, and going on our today's topic about climate and gender, as we all know that climate affects both gender, that is men and women. But today being Women's Day, I want to focus on challenges that women go through when it comes to climate change. Women's domestic roles often make them commoner use of natural resources such as water, firewood, and forest products. And when these resources become scarce, it adds more work to them, and the effects are bad, especially here in Africa. So when we talk of natural resources as water and firewood, we are talking of rivers that are drying up now. We are talking of forests that trees have been cut down and there are no more firewoods. So these resources become scarcer, and women experience an increased work burden, because that means walking for long distance to fetch water, walking for long distance to fetch firewood. Increasing population growth and more pressure add more pressure on these resources, because as the population grow, we realize that now there's competition of these resources, and it is resources that are not even available. Women are not helpless as victims of climate change, because there are different methods to adapt to climate change. And we as CWAM Foundation, we are economically empowering these women. We are not doing it only as a policy, but also as a means of strengthening the effectiveness of climate change. And through that, what we are doing, we are into plastic recycling. So we have women who work there. They sort plastics. We recycle the plastic, and through that, they are able to earn income. And through that, they're also able to meet their daily needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for let us know about your great experience, and also great experience also in the circular economy, because you are empowering women, also creating in a way circuits of circular economy. So maybe we'll go into that with further question in this dialogue. But now let's give the floor to the second speaker of today, that is Bo Guerreschi. She is the founder and president of Wambui ENGO. Wambui is an ENGO that is dealing with gender violence and women protection for the fight for human rights. So it's another very important topic. So I will give the floor now to Bo to introduce herself and to tell a little bit about Wambui.
Okay, thank you. Yes, like Domerico said, I'm the president of Wambui NGO, that is an organization, a government international that fight against gender-based violence and violence against women and treated violence. So what we thinking and what we're doing is a fight against all current violence, given human right, civil right, and the respect of all people and dependent kinds of people, okay? Even from in one day, like, okay, I'm sorry. And we offer the first in instrument or immediate interaction, okay, for immediate fight and above for the immediate taking charge and for the people for the complete and concrete protection. And we offer legal, medical, psychiatric on all over that they needed, even a place where they can stay and for the security. Wambui fight in all world. The most of the country fight is registered in Italy and United States. It will be the headquarters in the world. And we fight against all kind of the violence, even from climate, because the climate is one of the forms that go against the security and the cause directed to the domestic violence and the economic violence. Because economic violence is one of the firm directly for the, for the dignity of the women. The most of the people, the most of the women don't work. Even we are in 2022, but is the old women don't have already a kind of work that they take care of themselves. Now, today is March 8th, and I would like to talk that what's mean violence against women and girls in one day during the war, and what's mean violence in the war, what the violence used the military against a kind of people, they use it to like instrumental and in judgment of these people. So the rape, and I have a really violence when in this moment of our life, before there was a pandemic, then there is a war. The country, the people in all the world is changing. Okay. Grow up so much and so high and so faster. So now the war is coming, the people is changing, it start to be scared of two situations. First is pandemic, they forgot, but they live it with. The second is the war, they scare, even we are not in Ukraine, but we scare, and we have to think into receive all the cause of refugee in our country and try to make them thinking that they have a new life or they can be their life. The problem is how many there's a women they arrive and the children they arrive with the PTSD directly. So from the victims like of the war and refugees, and how much violence they receive against themselves and the same country from another military army. So in one day, today, March 8th is one of the more important day in the last 10 years, I think so. So we have a climate change, we have a pandemic, and we have a war. Three similar steps, really important, they begin and bring in how much thinking they have to bring, how much thinking the people about the violence. What do you think about it? I'm wrong? Domenico?
No, you are not wrong.
Okay.
Surely.
No, because you start to think. So
No.
For me is today all the countries in the world has to be really close each other and be strong. And what I like to ask to the ONG in the world to work together for all the country and bring a new project, because I used to do an international economist. So with Domenica, we are creating a project for kids, a project for the women to give them more work. They create a new economy in all kind of country, new school and more education, school education, and at the same time save life. Because in Italy, the problem is really high. But in Africa, in India, we have to think in Afghanistan, they all forget us in Afghanistan, and they still receiving horrible violence. Okay, so what I ask to the board and the ONG, stay all together. We have to work all together, and we have to be more strong day by day and create a project all together, because women from Italy are the same, the women are the same in all worlds. So the problem are the same, and the violence are the same. The rape is growing up so quickly. And the most horrible that they rape the kids. They grow up, the violence and the rape against kids, independent of the kind of sex are or the gender are. So what I ask the world and ask the ONG, please work together, all together, independent where I come from. This is what I like.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bo. And also thank you for connecting the different crises that we are facing that are letting us to find like solutions that are taking all the problems. And surely like the women's the respect of women's rights, and also the respect of and protection against gender violence is one of the solution that is taking all these aspects together. And at the beginning, we were saying that it's important to talk about women's rights and women's empowerment also together with men. We have not to discard the role of men. They are not like apart for the problem, but they need to be involved also in the solution.
But when you say something, that
yeah.
the best friends for women are men, because the women are the worst enemy against women. This is a problem. That is right. The women are the first enemy of the women.
Thank you, Bo. And properly for that, we are like gonna give the floor to a friend of the women that is our male guest for today, and he is OYEOUSSI Charles. OYEOUSSI Charles that is from ONG Afrique Esperance. I think that Charles, I don't know if you can speak in English, or even though you can also speak in French, and we will translate. Just I kindly ask if you can stop your discourse at a certain point so we can translate. So Charles, the floor's to you. Even in French or English, no worry, we are going to translate.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I want to present myself. I'm Charles Balogun from Benin. West Africa. I'm the president of the NGO Afrique Esperance. Our NGO was granted by ECOSOC UN the special consultative status since 2020. And my English, is not good, but I will try to speak. Are you understand me?
Yes, sure. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to first congratulate Climate Social Forum organizer. I was following you since many times. Congratulations for your job. It is a pleasure for me to be this morning with two women. This is the International Women's Day. I would like to say nice day for you women, because women is the F of world. If the woman is in the suffering, there's no peace in the world. So I mean, all our action today is how to do in order to bring a support to the women. Well, let me go now in the French and we'll translate. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Ok. Vraiment, merci beaucoup à nos chers organisateurs du Forum Climate Social Forum. C'était un véritable plaisir pour moi de prendre part à ce webinaire qui coïncide avec la Journée internationale de la femme. Je le disais tantôt que la femme est au cœur du monde. Si la femme souffre, c'est que le monde est en souffrance. Et donc, le thème qui est si bien choisi, climat et genre, est tellement bien choisi au point où ça me fait vraiment un véritable plaisir. Je pense que si nous allons débattre de ce thème aujourd'hui, nous allons prendre toute la journée, pourquoi pas toute une semaine. Et mes deux prédécesseurs que je voudrais féliciter, Mme Caroline et Mme Guerreschi, je pense que nous sommes sur le même niveau de compréhension des choses. Madame Guerreschi, qui est des États-Unis, qui parle du support qui nous amène à toutes les femmes qui font face aux abus dans le monde. Et de l'autre côté, Madame Caroline, qui est au Kenya, qui fait aussi pratiquement la même chose que nous. Nous travaillons spécifiquement, nous apportons des solutions à toutes les femmes qui sont dans les zones rurales. C'est-à-dire, vous voyez un peu nos femmes dans les zones rurales et tout ce qu'elles font comme travail, surtout aujourd'hui avec le changement climatique. Et nous leur apportons des solutions pour que leur quotidien soit plus aisé. Je donne un exemple terre à terre sur lequel nous travaillons pour l'instant. Nous avons eu l'accompagnement de l'Organisation internationale de la francophonie par le biais de l'Institut francophone de développement durable. Il nous a aidé à appuyer 20 groupements de femmes dans leur activité génératrice de revenus. Bon, ce sont des femmes qui transforment le manioc. Vous savez, chez nous en Afrique, surtout en Afrique de l'Ouest et en Afrique du Centre, nous consommons beaucoup le manioc, cassava. Nous le consommons beaucoup. Et donc, dans la transformation de ce manioc, nous utilisons beaucoup de bois de chauffe. Donc, l'utilisation de bois de chauffe conduit indubitablement à la déforestation. Et qui dit déforestation dit et perturbation de la couche d'ozone, dit avancée du désert. Et donc, nous avons jugé utile, dans le projet que l'Institut francophone nous a financé, d'aider ces femmes avec les déchets organiques, c'est-à-dire les épluchures de manioc, avec tous les déchets qu'elles ont autour d'elles, à leur apporter une nouvelle forme d'énergie. Donc, au lieu qu'elles utilisent le bois de chauffe, nous prenons tout ce qu'il y a comme déchets organiques autour d'elles, les cendres de poule, les cendres de vache, tout ce qu'il y a comme déchets, et nous produisons une autre forme d'énergie qu'on appelle le biogaz. Et donc, au lieu qu'elles utilisent le bois, qui leur posait beaucoup de maladies respiratoires, beaucoup de problèmes de santé, aujourd'hui, elles utilisent le biogaz pour transformer le gari qui est beaucoup consommé en Afrique de l'Ouest. Et...
Ok, I'm gonna... Charles, je vais traduire. Ou bien? Okay, so in the meanwhile that I think that he faced some problem of connection. So Charles has presented, first of all, like congratulating for the initiative, and also very pleased to be together with Caroline and Bo in this initiative. So he told properly that it was very important that gender and climate topics were addressed together, the gender, climate, and also the role of the civil society on climate can be very addressed. Also in this special day of women, and he stated properly that there is no peace if there is no respect of women's rights. And he told about also the project that they are doing in the country. They're working in Africa, especially in rural areas, rural development. Similarly to Carolina was saying. And in particular, they have some project related to the restoration and reforesting of areas that are going into the desertification, and also, for example, reuse of organic wastes to produce biogas. And so these are examples of works that they are doing, especially with women. So involving women in such kind of project, and also involving women in projects that are related to the protection and restoration of the environment. Okay, so in the meanwhile, that may be okay. Charles, if you want to continue.
Thank you. Vraiment, félicitations pour ta traduction. C'est super. Super. Donc, je disais que ces femmes, nous les accompagnons dans leurs activités génératrices de revenus à pouvoir amoindrir les difficultés qu'elles ont chaque jour à se faire un peu d'argent. Vous voyez que les femmes qui, autrefois, préparaient, transformaient, comme on appelle le manioc, à base de bois de chauffe, elles ont des problèmes respiratoires, elles ont des problèmes de peau. Aujourd'hui, tout ça, c'est du passé. Et c'est la même chose aussi pour les femmes de l'Afrique centrale, où le manioc aussi est beaucoup consommé. Elles les transforment non pas en gari, mais en ce qu'on appelle le bâton de manioc, pour ceux qui connaissent bien l'Afrique centrale. Et donc, ce sont des projets parmi tant d'autres. Nous avons aussi un projet d'aider les femmes qui sont au bord des cités lacustres, où il y a la biodiversité avec les mangroves. Elles transforment le sel. Et donc, puisqu'elles n'ont pas de bois à côté, elles coupent les mangroves pour pouvoir faire du bois, pour pouvoir faire le feu, pour transformer le sel. Et donc, nous avons aussi un projet. On n'a pas encore eu de financement. Le projet est déjà bien écrit. Donc, nous sommes en perspective d'avoir aussi de financement pour aider ces femmes pour ne pas détériorer les mangroves, puisque c'est de la biodiversité, à les aider par une autre forme aussi d'énergie, par la production toujours de biogaz, pour qu'elles puissent, et je crois, satisfaire à leurs besoins. Donc, de manière globale, notre organisation travaille à l'édification, à l'autonomisation des femmes en leur apportant de la nouvelle technologie dans leur activité génératrice de tous les jours. Et donc, cela participe de, comment on appelle, de l'adaptation et de l'atténuation climatique, donc à l'envers de la couche défavorisée qui est la femme. Je pense que je vais m'arrêter là en attendant que nous continuons dans le débat.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. So the kind of activity that they are running are also activity that they want to be generative, that can also generate revenues for the women. And for example, he cited a project that they are doing in Central Africa for the restoration of the mangrove. Of course, the mangrove are like a very delicate ecosystem that needs to be protected, but of course also from some residuals, organic residuals that are coming from there, they can also produce biogas. And this kind of biogas is also like a form of applying new technologies and like transform that in activities that can also generate revenues, as I was saying before, and these help also to emancipate and to make the women more independent. Okay, so please, Charles.
Ça va, c'est bon, ça peut aller. Merci.
Okay, so thank you for the speakers for this first round where they introduced themselves. So I will make some few questions also to you, and also I will leave the floor eventually to questions from the audience. So the first question I will address to Caroline. And we all see in such kind of activity that the role and empowerment of women is not just like standing on human rights. This is the first step. We need also to engage them, for example, in as Charles was saying, generative activities, and also the role of new jobs, the role of new works, how is like can be connected to women empowerment, and also the role of women and gender. So how the future works, we can say, can play a great role for the emancipation of women. So the floor to you, Caroline.
I think the best way of empowering women economically is by providing them with decent jobs. Some of them, we understand they don't have skills of doing these jobs, but with some few trainings, they're able to deliver. So by giving them trainings that will help them deliver on the jobs that you are introducing to them, it's one way of making them believe in themselves and also help them earn through a decent job.
Okay. Thank you, Caroline, for the answer. And so I will address now a question to Bo. And the question are, which are the risk and which are the challenges also, and that we need to face to guarantee the women protection. So what we have to take care, for example, to fully have protection of women against violence and to protect their rights.
Well, the first thing that we have to think in is what kind of violence they come from, okay? And then they have to think in the correct way to save their life, because everybody said, you know, go to do a report, go and do directly, but they forgot that even if you go to report and you follow the law, you are always at the risk, because the gap from the concrete, okay, law in front of the court every day, and the risk that the violence and the women and our assistants, they are front of like everybody, is continuous. So respect the law when you study, you know, the law right is completely different from the concrete law and the defender that we are defending the women. So the first is go report and ask to your family or someone that you trust to stay close to you. Second, decide if you want to go in some protection house, or you have someone and you have where you can stay with. And the second is, if you stay with someone, you have to ask some association or someone that have a kind of protection, like we call out protection in. That means the women is not in the protection house, but we have all the rules to protect them themselves. And the fourth is, if they don't have the most problem, is that most of the women, like our friend said, they come from violence without any money, because they have to escape from him or escape from them, because it depended. So they don't have really money, or they have to leave the job, okay? So they find with kids without money. They don't know how where to live, and they don't know how to eat. So in this case, you have to, and the law, it doesn't give you any protection. Okay, so our association even is not our role. We take our wallet and we pay for them, because you need to start to protection first with a legal, and you have to be strong. You have to fight against the call from them. You have to have the power in your face to sign and go in front to really save kids and women in front of the prosecutor, because the protection doesn't know exactly how the victims are and how much they suffer, because all victims are from psychology, victims, domestic or rape, and economy. So it's very hard to talk about violence, but any ONG, any association has to be really power, use all what you have. So legal, that means lawyer, doctor, school, and job, to make one victim to start to walk in a new life. So before I talk about violence, you have to think in 365 points, because talking about violence doesn't mean that you know how they feel it. They have to empathy when they talk with, and you have to be power, and you have to be strong for them, because doesn't have any power to rejecting to the situation. And we created, because you're part of about our project for the kids, for the school, and we are creating a new science, human rights, medical care, and psychology institute in the United States. Because most of the time, the PTSD that is for adults, that's DTD, that is the same stuff about for kids, they will bring some pathology, even cancer or other kind of very, very bad situation. So the mind is belong all the body. Your mind belong all your situation. So you have to take care about victims, take care about all of them. That's what we do in concrete.
Thank you very much, Bo, and thank you for the answer. I think that give also the view on how really fully protect the women's rights. And so now one question to Charles. I will state in English, and I will try, and then I will leave the floor to the question on the to the floor. So the question for Charles is how, in your, for example, project, in your experience, how are the strategy also to involve and let also the men collaborate in the project of empowering women? So how, for example, they participate to the project that you described, and how they can collaborate also together with you, with your activity for empower women. So comme les hommes vont à cette collaboration avec las femmes en la projet que tu as décrit après. Comme les hommes vont à participer en la projet que tu dis ici. Ça, la question pour toi.
Oui, tu peux reprendre la question.
OK. Je veux répéter, comme vous faites la collaboration les hommes et les projets de valorisation d'empowerment les femmes. Comme les hommes vont collaborer et à participer dans votre projet.
Merci bien. J'ai un problème de connexion ici, là. Ben, ça va aller quand même. Je pense que j'ai bien écouté, j'ai vu l'enjeu de la question que tu as posée. Et en fait, je pense que, comme l'a dit Madame Guerreschi, nous sommes condamnés à travailler ensemble. Les ONG doivent continuer à travailler ensemble. Ce n'est pas forcément une question de moyens financiers, mais les idées d'abord. Parce qu'on dit souvent que c'est la vision avant la provision. Et j'apprécie comment les interventions des femmes, les différentes interventions. Je pense que la stratégie sera celle-ci. Et l'ONG Afrique Espérance, en elle-même, elle n'a pas les moyens financiers, mais elle a les idées, elle a des collaborateurs techniques, des gens qui pensent à mettre des idées en place pour aider la jeune féminine. Nous n'avons pas réellement les moyens, mais nous avons les idées, nous avons de la technologie à apporter pour accompagner les femmes. Ainsi, Madame Guerreschi disait tout à l'heure qu'ils aident les femmes en Afghanistan, en Tunisie, aux États-Unis et en Inde. Bon, je pense que, et Madame Caroline aussi, pratiquement, nous sommes dans la même veine. Aujourd'hui, c'est de faire en sorte que nous puissions implémenter des projets communs. C'est-à-dire, moi, à Cotonou, l'expérience que j'ai, et Madame Caroline qui est au Kenya, l'expérience qu'elle a avec Madame Guerreschi qui est aux États-Unis, si elle peut être une porte ouverte pour atteindre des gens pour nous financer, pour qu'on ne travaille plus de manière éparse, mais plutôt qu'on travaille de manière la main dans la main, comme on le dit, pour pouvoir sortir les femmes de sous-développement. Parce que l'autonomisation des femmes, elle est importante. Et je voudrais vous rappeler, vous le savez bien, que les effets pervers du changement climatique, c'est vrai que ça n'épargne personne. Les femmes, elles sont déjà faibles et donc elles sont plus menacées par les effets pervers du changement climatique. Donc, travailler pour et accompagner les femmes dans leurs activités de tous les jours nous permettra d'avoir un monde plus paisible. Je ne voudrais pas rentrer dans ce qui fait l'actualité aujourd'hui, mais nous allons le dire parce que nous sommes en face de ça. Nous sommes au bord d'une troisième guerre mondiale qui ne dit pas son nom. Vous voyez les images à la télévision où les enfants, c'est les enfants ou les femmes, c'est elles qui font pitié d'abord. Les hommes, ils savent se débrouiller. Donc, ce que nous allons faire aujourd'hui pour que nos différentes expériences, les best practices, qu'on dit les best practices, qu'on puisse les mettre ensemble pour concevoir des projets communs et avoir des financements pour que, par exemple, l'exemple de notre projet que nous avons financé au Bénin avec les femmes pour la transformation du manioc, on a encore besoin de moyens pour étendre ces projets ailleurs. Mais nous sommes limités. Nous sommes limités. Et donc, ma vision à moi, je pense que les trois ONG, nous allons dans la même direction et il faudrait que nous travaillions ensemble, d'être après le webinaire, pour qu'on se mette ensemble pour faire des projets communs et accompagner ces femmes-là qui souffrent dans le monde. J'espère que j'ai répondu à votre question.
Merci beaucoup, Charles. Votre introduction. He said that the collaboration, of course, among men and women is essential. We are like binded to collaborate together. And it's important that all the work that is done also in their project and so on need to have the clear goal of also empowering them in women. And for that, for example, any kind of expertise, any kind of also technology and technology knowledge need to be like at the service of the main sake of women protection. And on that, of course, it's possible to realize the collaboration also with different NGOs. He also like underlined that all the three NGOs that today are hosting this Climate Social Forum dialogue are like working in the same direction, and it's important also to foster the collaboration among them because like they are on the same goal. And yeah, basically was this the answer. Now I will like give the floor to some question from the audience. I don't know if he's like connected, but there was a question from Dr. Sudhir Joshi, but I don't know if he is here. Dr. Sudhir Joshi, are you there? No, I think no. But I will, in the meanwhile that Dr. Sudhir Joshi is restoring connection, I will give the floor to the audience if they want to make a question, also the speakers if they want to make question among themselves. So now the floor to the discussion, open discussion. So just raise your hand and state your question. So here, Jean. Pour Charles, nous faisons question dans la participant pour aussi, pour voir. Et si hay quelques questions que tu voulais también faire à les autres parents, tu peux faire les questions que vous voulez. Alors, c'est comme la discussion ouverte. OK? Okay. I don't know if any one of you have questions.
I would like to add a question to the audience. What are they thinking about violence? What they think that there is violence? If someone that will answer. Because most of the people, they forget that women, the human right is a part, or better, the women's rights are part of the human rights. So I would like to ask to the audience if they have some idea what mean violence in general.
Je vais traduire también pour Charles. La question de vous est qu'est-ce la violence en pouvoir? Qu'est-ce que pense de la violence? Qu'est-ce la violence? Vous pouvez aussi le répondre si vous voulez.
General meaning.
I don't know, Caroline or Charles, if you want also to reply, you can do that.
Or if there is someone that is watching and they want to answer.
Yeah, I will start with a kind of input on that. I mean, in my opinion, violence can stand also when someone is forced to do something that is against his or her will, no? So all the violence are coming from this root, and of course there are different representation of this kind of concept. But of course, if you are doing something against a will, so you are imposing your will to another, is a kind of violence.
The base of the violence is because the man or whatever, a person doesn't have any respect. So if you have respect, doesn't exist violence. That's the problem is. And the time is really important to make any kind of victims in a security. Time, in everything you do is not economy, it is time. The first element to grow up and to resolve the problem, time. And that the second is an economy. This is my opinion.
I don't know if any one of you also speakers want to reply, to give a contribution. Oui, Charles?
Je peux intervenir?
Oui.
Yeah.
D'accord. Je voudrais qu'on recentre un peu comment on appelle le débat, parce que le thème de notre débat, c'est climat et gendre. Je sais bien que l'ONG de Madame Guerreschi s'occupe surtout
d'accompagner les femmes qui subissent des abus de violence. C'est toujours des accompagnements au devant des femmes. Et je voudrais qu'on se concentre surtout sur le thème climat et genre. Parce que c'est vrai que nous célébrons les femmes aujourd'hui, mais le thème, je pense qu'il colle avec l'actualité. Et nous étions, comment on appelle, à la COP 27, et nous étions au cœur des discussions en ce qui concerne le réchauffement de la Terre. Nous sommes passés de 2 degrés à 1,5 degré, et ce sont des prévisions. Et vous savez bien que moi, que les plus gros pollueurs refusent, ou je ne sais pas, les promesses n'arrivent pas comment on appelle, ils n'arrivent pas à honorer les promesses qui est de débourser 100 milliards de dollars pour aider les pays en sous-développement. Alors, dans ce contexte-là, moi, je pense que nos États, qui sont les États sous-développés, comme on les appelle, on n'a pas les moyens. Moi, je pense que c'est une question de stratégie parce qu'on met les moyens ailleurs. Parce que moi, je pense que si on arrivait quand même à bien structurer les dépenses, par exemple, publiques, et de mettre si on arrivait à bien accentuer les dépenses publiques, c'est-à-dire avoir un regard sur le côté social, je pense qu'on n'aurait pas eu besoin de recourir forcément comment on appelle à l'apport extérieur pour pouvoir aider surtout les femmes rurales. Parce que c'est de ça qu'il s'agit. Nous nous occupons des femmes rurales dans leur activité génératrice de revenus. Donc, je voudrais que de commun accord, nous trois, tels que nous sommes ici, Madame Guerreschi qui est aux États-Unis, Madame Caroline qui est au Kenya, et nous, que nous puissions voir les choses de cette manière. Nous parlons de genre et climat. Qu'est-ce que nous pouvons apporter aujourd'hui ensemble? Nous avons la technologie, nous avons les idées, d'accord? Nous avons fait nos expériences, des projets avec l'OIF, le truchement de l'Institut francophone pour le développement durable. Ils nous ont aidés de manière substantielle et ça a donné des résultats concrets. Et nous avons des projets qui sont sur la table. Est-ce qu'on peut ensemble réfléchir de manière globale pour dire, bon, écoutez, voilà ce que ceux-là ont sur la main. Est-ce qu'on peut réfléchir ensemble pour avoir le financement pour le faire ici et pourquoi pas faire le Kenya et pourquoi pas peut-être Mme Guerreschi qui a beaucoup de relations aussi en Afghanistan et autres, de manière vulgarisée ces trucs. Moi, je pense que je voudrais qu'on réfléchisse ensemble dans ce contexte-là, climat et genre. Et je pense que ça va beaucoup nous aider parce que les effets du changement climatique, c'est vrai que ça atteint tout le monde entier. Tout ce que vous voyez, même les pays les plus riches, ils sont impactés. Mais spécifiquement les pays en voie de développement. Hein? Il ne faudrait pas forcément qu'on recourt aux aides extérieures, mais le réseau que nous mettons en place aujourd'hui peut s'étendre. Et donc, je pense qu'on pourra faire beaucoup de choses pour nos comment on appelle, nos femmes et qui sont les plus déshéritées. Merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi, Charles. Charles has also stated that we are talking also on gender and climate, and it's important also to address the topic and also envisioning that, for example, the COP27 appointments. The COP26 has decided that there are funds that are allocated also to the development of agricultural lands, especially in the so-called developed countries. And also it's important also to consider the fact that talking about gender and climate, the rural women are the one of the most affected, and also are affecting the ones especially on developing countries. So it's important to create collaboration and create also connection in order to not leave this country apart. So I just summarize a little bit the answer, Charles. Now I saw that Dr. Joshi has a question, has joined. I don't know if Dr. Sudhir Joshi want to have the floor. So please, Dr. Joshi, go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon and good evening and good morning. Myself, Dr. Sudhir Joshi. I'm a Senior Government Health Officer and Director SDGBI, Sustainable Goal Brigades India, and also working in the various NGOs and also a part of high-level political forum and representing India in the United Nations. Regarding my today's some brief point regarding the gender equality and climate, I shot out 9 areas which we have to focus, because if we talk about the sustainable tomorrow, we have to make sure that next generation must be prosperous, enriched, and skillful. So my 9 focus area is we have to first target safeguarding birth of girl child. That is very important. The second is providing equal access to healthcare, education, and development to each and every woman. The third is ensuring equal economic opportunities and engagement to every woman for stronger partnership, or we can say in the development of economy. And the fourth is providing decent employment for women. See, we should come forward for decent employment. And the fifth is strengthening women cooperatives and self-help groups. Here in India, we have plenty of self-help group, which is very much essential for overall development of women. And then the encouraging women participation in decision making and leadership. This is utmost required. That's why we put focus on the education and other areas also. Spreading awareness on legal support and aid available for women. That is also we are trying and doing. And comprehensive life cycle approach for improving reproductive, maternal, and child healthcare. And last, improved women participation in labor market is also a part of this. If we focus on gender 5, then all the as per my knowledge, all are equally connected, interconnected, and interlinked with SDG 5. So SDG 5 is our focal point. So woman is our focal point, and woman is a driver. Woman is a big driver for our cycle of SDG. If we want to embracing the change in the community, we must empowering the woman. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you to you, Dr. Joshi. I don't know if someone of you want to add something to the points of Dr. Joshi. I think Dr. Joshi has tried to summarize some points that also can contribute to the main discussion. I don't know if Caroline, Bo, or Charles, do you want to add something or respond at least to Dr. Joshi?
Well, he said a part of
Yes.
the. Oh, Caroline, please.
Okay. Okay, maybe I would like to add something, or maybe ask a question. Now that he mentioned that he's in government, I'd like to ask is, and that goes to each and every one of us here, do you feel like the government is doing enough to empower women in your country?
Hello. Government is trying by various schemes, various opportunities, skill development programs, various collaboration with self-help group, even mission. We have a special revolving fund for women, and mostly all women getting education with no cost. Up to college level, there is no cost at all for all girls. So government at that level trying their best, and government is also thinking and trying for their opportunity and giving opportunity for their jobs also. But somehow decision making, we are thinking about the decision making process. Even 50% reservation for women in political approach as well as in government sectors and all. So government is, I can say proudly that doing best, but we are not getting what exactly we want, ma'am. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi.
Maybe, can I add
Please.
something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just to add on that, what are you doing to bring these women on that decision-making table so that you don't decide for them and just pause stuff, like pause issues, pause already decided stuff? What are you doing to bring these women on that decision-making table so that they can also raise what they want, they can also participate in that decision-making?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. We are here for developing them and participating them in decision making process. So if they are part of decision making, then they become more strong. They think that they are part of the strategic process, and they feel proud, and they become channelized, and then we bring change. If we want change, then we must give power. We must give decision power to women. Then and then we will bring change. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. Anyone that want to respond to the
Well-
wonderful question of Caroline? Thank you, please.
Well, I would like to ask Dr. I forgot the name. If he said he still underlined that there is women in power, the government, the blah, blah, blah. But what do you think that talking and still underline that there are women in the power of the government doesn't mean any discrimination? Because if you have a skill and if you are good and you know how to do your kind of job and you know how much is in concrete, you don't have to, or the thinking, okay, the word shouldn't think in how many or how much woman or how many women or how many men are inside of the government. The government has decided with the power people and with the skill, with the people with skill. So in the moment that we still talking and say that we are in the line, there are women on the power, is like to win the Oscar. We have to fight to put more women and consideration more the power about the skills of the women, not just because of women. That's mean. How do you thinking about this?
Yes, ma'am. As per my knowledge, skill, and attitude, these three things at most required for overall development of any person. If women are getting knowledge, but they are not getting skill, so skill development is very, we can say, developing area, or we can say we must enhance women for whatever skill they possess, and they go ahead. So this is very important to bring women in a this skill mode, and after getting enough skill, they may proceed for their individual business, small scale business or home based business, and they become contributor for their economy of their individual family also. If we bring that level, then and then we can say proudly that women is now empowered. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. I think that we have the space for last intervention, then we are going to conclude. I don't know if any other wants to respond also, for example, of the question of Caroline, that was very on the topic, and I think very fruitful for the discussion. So thank you for doing that, Caroline. Okay, oui, Charles.
Merci bien. Je pense que nous devons remercier le docteur Soudi Soshi pour son expertise éclairée, parce que je suis parfaitement en phase avec lui, parce que, vous savez, le véritable problème aujourd'hui, nous qui sommes en connexion avec les bénéficiaires sur le terrain, il y a un problème de déficience de formation, comme il est en train de dire quand il parle de fellowship, c'est les programmes de formation. Et c'est en cela que le projet, c'est pas que je suis en train de vendre mon projet, c'est vrai, chacun parle de ce qu'il connaît. Le projet que nous avons mis en exec, qui a beaucoup marché, c'est que nous n'avons pas changé l'habitude des femmes, mais nous les avons formées à l'utilisation de la nouvelle technologie qui a été mis en place. On les a formées, ces femmes-là. Ça veut dire qu'elles n'ont pas forcément besoin de nous. Et c'est le véritable problème qu'on a. Et c'est pourquoi, c'est en cela que le docteur, je crois, Soudi a touché à un point vraiment très important. C'est vrai que nous sommes entre les bénéficiaires et comment on appelle, et les potentiels, comment on appelle, apporteurs de finances pour aider les populations vulnérables qui sont à la base. Mais et après, quand on leur donne le truc, s'il n'y a pas de formation qui suit, ce serait gratuit. Et c'est pour ça que je réitère encore qu'il faudrait que nous travaillions en symbiose, que nous travaillons en groupe. Si nous travaillons en groupe, vous savez, c'est ce qu'on appelle en anglais les best practices. Ce que moi j'ai comme on appelle best practice, peut-être que l'autre n'a pas, mais c'est en nous mettant ensemble que je pense qu'on pourra aller de l'avant. Si le docteur Soudi et en l'écoutant avec l'expertise qu'il a, il peut nous aider et à nous interconnecter dans les programmes de formation. Madame Guerreschi qui est aux États-Unis, elle a des connexions en ce qui concerne les liens pour les financements. Et Madame Caroline qui est au Kenya, si elle a des projets, on verra comment travailler ensemble. Vous voyez, moi, ça me plaît ce débat-là parce que nous convergeons vers tous le même objectif pour l'autonomisation de la femme, pour sortir la femme de la précarité, pour permettre à la femme qui est déjà âme faible, au devant des effets néfastes du changement climatique, de pouvoir se recréer. Et donc, je remercie vraiment beaucoup Dr Souchi pour son éclairage.
Merci beaucoup, Charles. And just to translate, and then we are going to end. Charles was concluding on the intervention of Dr. Joshi, because education and also training, it's very important. He said that, of course, we are on the NGO environment. We are also working on volunteer, and it's important to understand that we also need training on the ground. Also, when we are talking with the grassroots groups and also grassroots group of women, and it's important also to empower them, to give the expertise, and also, for example, new technologies and so on. And that's important also, saying that we need to collaborate and to cooperate in group together. And also he was saying that we need to find ways to collaborate with Guerreschi, with the Caroline together, also maybe in training programs and so on, because it's important to also transfer knowledge and to create expertise on the ground, also to really empower women, to really emancipate them, and to really reach the goal for connecting also.
Monsieur, oui, il a fini. Monsieur le modérateur, merci beaucoup pour votre traduction. J'ai une question pour le docteur Soudir, si vous permettez.
Yeah.
Une question pour le docteur Soudir. Je pense que les autres panélistes aussi pourront peut-être réfléchir à ça. Et moi, je pense que la vision que nous avons de notre monde, c'est un monde meilleur. Et Raoul Folero l'a dit, nul n'est censé vivre seul heureux. Et je crois que c'est pour tout ça que nous nous battons, pour pouvoir apporter un mieux-être aux populations qui souffrent. Comment le docteur Soudi pense que, au jour d'aujourd'hui, je prends l'exemple de l'Afrique. L'Afrique qui compte déjà plus d'1 milliard de population. Je suis africain, c'est vrai. Et nous avons toutes les richesses du monde entier et nous participons à moins de 5 ou 6% au commerce international. Et donc, nous, les ONG, vous voyez le travail, il y a beaucoup à faire en Afrique. Il y a vraiment beaucoup à faire en Afrique. C'est vrai que dans les contrées aussi, d'autres pays du tiers-monde, il y a beaucoup à faire. Comment le docteur Soudi pense que les ONG peuvent être encore plus impactables sur le terrain? Comment faire ce lien de coordination entre les ONG qui ont les mêmes visions pour pouvoir avoir... Parce que le financement est la chose. Ce n'est pas les idées qui manquent. Bon, on a quand même quelques expertises pour monter les dossiers. Comment le docteur Soudi pense qu'on peut travailler ensemble pour pouvoir avoir des financements, pour pouvoir, je crois, mettre à échelle ces projets innovants que nous avons?
Je vais traduire pour le Dr. Suji. So, Dr. Joshi, Charles has a question for you. He said, yes, we agreed on the fact that we think for a better world, we think how to empower women and so on. But basically, how do you think and how do you suggest to make these willings more concrete and more impactful, also especially, for example, in African countries, and also, for example, where to support financially these kind of activities and so on. So the question for Dr. Sujit, but also a reflection for all, how we can create these kind of project, but also this kind of willings more impactful, more concrete, also in countries like Africa, for example.
Sir, may I?
Sure.
If we want to make it in large scale, first we have to make our student or a college girl, or we can say school girl, we have to make them change agent. So as a change agent, we have to prepare them in various area, train them, nurture them, care them, give the proper information and guidance. After such a long process, they become change maker. So this is simple journey of change agent to change maker. If we create a change maker and more change maker add in our community, we will bring good impact. See, without effect, we will not get impact. And if we want good outcome, see, change agent give output, but change maker give outcome. Change agent give effect, but change maker give impact. This is real time of integration. We are applying 3I for younger girls. That is inform, inspired, and integration. First, we all ready to serve younger girls, giving them information and opportunity, develop their skills and attitude, then assign them tasks, such as small activities, then bring in the motion of inspiration by various examples and recognitions. After getting enough inspiration, they are equally ready for real-time integration. That is what we want. And if we assign them various integrative approach with collaboration, then we may create a good environment that is more important for sustainability, and we will get what exactly we want. We are here for peace, prosperity, and solidarity. That we want, and we can do it. I am ready to serve my knowledge, skill, and attitude to any country. You may invite me in your old form. I am here for channelizing, mentoring, facilitating, and guiding. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Domenico, I'm
Can
sorry.
I say something?
Sure, sure. I don't know if first
Okay.
go,
Please.
Caroline, to you.
Okay. Can I go first? Okay. Just to add on that, I think what we need is to provide tangible solutions. Because if we continue making policies and policies and policies, these women continue to suffer. They continue experiencing the poverty, living in poverty. But all we need now is to provide tangible solutions. If we're talking of empowering these women economically, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, let this woman have something that she's taking to, she must have something that she's proud of, like this day was not a waste. I've learned this, and out of this, I have earned this. Provide tangible solution, because there's so many policies made. Even here in Kenya, we have so many policies. They are very nice, they sound good, but on the ground, nothing is happening. But if we can come up with tangible solutions that will transform lives of these women, and by tangible, I mean something that they can touch, they can feel, something that is changing their lives. But if we continue coming up with policies, coming up with very good agendas, very good promising, but at the end of the day, there's nothing delivered, we are still going to continue being on that one circle, going round and round and round. I think it's a high time we start providing tangible solutions.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you.
Hello,
Just
sir.
wait a moment, Dr. Joshi.
Okay.
First,
Okay.
Bo Guerreschi, then to you, and then we are going to move.
I would like just to say that we need more make less smooth. That's why that's mean more concrete, respect power, respect words, blah, 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 blah. We're here for lots of blah. So the Wambui and the miracle is part with us, and even Rethinking Climate and other ONG, they accepted to being concrete because we are creating concrete project. We don't care about how much money we get, because when you do something, the money are coming. But if you're scared to have some risk, and you have to have some risks if you want to bring in some blah, blah, blah to concrete project. So that's why we are doing in Italy, we are doing Egyptian, Brazil, and United States. And I tell you, we don't have any kind of money, but we don't care about that. We are starting, and when you start and you bring people to have a own dignity and they bring back money and they have any kind of job, but any care, dear ONG, talk less, more milk and risk, because you need to risk. The government give you any money, even the Africa, their government is rich, but the power, the people are poor, you're really, poor. That's why you don't have to care about money. Try to start to risk, and the money are coming, because when you do something for the social, they like to be their name up. You don't care about marketing. Take your money, but produce for people, jobs, education, any kind, but you have any character to do your risk. So if you want to bring part of this our team, I tell you, we don't have any money. We are creating in concrete, and I'm stuck. Please, it's not about you, but in general, in TV and read a newspaper, some blood, they didn't know anything about what they're talking about. So you said we need concrete. Okay, stay with us. We are producing in Africa too, in Kenya. I'm here, and Domenico is partnering, and Asia is partnering, and we're thinking for it, because we don't care about money. We start to create it. Is correct, Domenico?
Yeah, thank you for
so if you
this.
want to be part, we can kindergarten, school, university, and a village for kids and women. So if you want to be part, ask Domenico. We are here.
Thank you both for the determination, and thank you, Caroline, for also stating
this is
on
mean power, women power.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we really saw the women's power in concrete, we can say.
Right.
So Dr. Joshi, just briefly, and then we go on to conclude. Dr. Joshi, if you want to
yes sir. Yes, sir. The ma'am point is very important. Last but not least, we are here for sensible solution, and I'm agreed on it. But strategic intelligence, what we want right now, and without integration and without strategic approach, we will not get result. And we are here for not only making policies and agendas. We are working here for sensible solutions and rather best resolutions. So let's come forward for sustainable tomorrow. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. And with that, I think that our time, unfortunately, is finished, because it was a wonderful start for these Climate Social Forum dialogues. Just to tell you how this initiative has been raised, Climate Social Forum, as you many of you can know, is like a virtual agora, so a place where all the people are matching and are discussing, are making projects together, and so on. And we wanted to start these dialogues probably to give space to NGOs, to projects, to activities, to hold the topic and to discuss and develop that. So humbly, I want to say that today we started great, because it was a very good discussion, and I'm very thanks Guerreschi, Caroline Wambui, OYEOUSSI, Charles BALOGOUN for being here in this talk. Please, I will recall the invitation that all of you has done. Stay connected. Let's work together. Let's collaborate, because there is a lot of things to do. There is a lot of things to put in practice to make it concrete. And only with collaboration we can do it together. Alone we have problems, and together we have solutions. This is the claim of Climate Social Forum. So let's stay together to find the best strategic and concrete solution, what we will learn to give. So thank you very much to all.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Thank you very much, and see you to the next climate dialogue that we will advise. Now every dialogue will be hosted by one NGO or more NGO. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.